Hi guys, it's Fiverr, and today I'm going to go over my process for coming up with color schemes. A lot of people have made videos on this subject, including Dana Howe, who did a really nice one, but my process is a bit different than theirs. Usually I don't even do any kind of visual mock-up. I just have the model on my desk for a couple of days, and I look over it and turn it around, but this is kind of a visual way to represent that. Using tools like color wheels or color schemes generated online or pulling from source material is a really great way to come up with color schemes, but my focus is more on the silhouette and the overall shape of the model. And I'll jump right into showing you what I'm talking about on a model I was really excited to paint. This is the Troggoth Mollog from the Mollog's Mad Mob set. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I do when looking at a model is really just having it sitting on my desk in black and white, like I said. And the first thing I'm trying to do is just break it into its most prominent silhouette. So here I'm just defining the overall shape of the model because I'm kind of using this like when you were lying on your back as a kid looking at clouds and trying to make pictures out of them. So I'm just kind of breaking this down into different shapes and seeing what I can find in them, because my color schemes are usually what kind of candy can I make this thing into. So with this, I'm just breaking all the different parts down so I can kind of look at them individually. Again, just using the different colors to break this up visually so that it's a more clear example. So you want to define the overall silhouette, and then you want to break it up into different sorts of shapes, like I've done here, picking out his frog, the mushrooms, the club, etc. So the next process is identifying those shapes, which is just kind of making them into things. With Mollog overall, I just kind of saw this cupcake kind of shape with his back. It's nice to draw from a frame of reference. I'm sure a lot of people actually know about like trucks and stuff, so they can find that, but for me it's candy. That club also to me just looked like a nerd's rope, and I had a photo of it off to the side, but I've had some weird cropping issues with the recording, so sorry about that. So then I also like to go into what I think the sculptor's influences were. In this case, I'm just seeing a lot of Jim Henson, Brian Froud kind of vibes from this guy, which is great, but that could be just because I spent a lot of time recently watching The Dark Crystal, but I'll take that as an influence for sure. So now that we've got all this broken up, you want to think about what color you're going to make things. For candy, some of it's obvious. It's going to have to be the color that candy is. But drawing more again on the Brian Froud influences, Dark Crystal kind of vibes, I took a look at some of the characters from there, and they had this lovely metallic undertone that I want to carry through into the piece. So from there, it's just kind of picking things out. I can't really define metallics easily in a digital art program without going through a lot of effort that I don't really need to do, but I can make that club the color of a nerd's rope and see if I like it. So that's what I did. The next thing to do, I wanted to kind of figure out the overall color that I wanted. Since I was having all these Dark Crystal vibes, purple seemed the obvious choice. Looking at this character, they also kind of have a two-toned appearance, so I wanted to carry that throughout as well. And I just kind of chose cupcake looking colors, so I got the sort of frosting bits on that kind of dome part of the model, as well as the hands and feet, which I thought would just break it up into a nice variation. Then I made the rest of it a yellowy sort of cupcake wrapper color. I thought doing a cherry for the nose would be really nice. A chocolate frog just seemed too fun and too obvious not to include, so I did that as well. Now we can jump into painting that color scheme. I'm not going to go over a lot of the details or even a lot of the process, because this is more about coming up with the colors than actually applying them. But I did want to, that I started with the black and white Zenithal Prime there, which is just spraying the model fully black and then spraying white down from above. The very next thing I did was I applied a coat of gold metallic for all the places that I thought were going to be yellow, and That is just so I can have those golden undertones poking through. I really wanted to make sure that I included that, so that was the first thing I painted, and I wanted it to be subtle. If you start with the metallic coat, it does look kind of streaky, but as you layer other paints on, it just kind of pokes through in little places. I also mapped out all of the places that I wanted to be that purpley pink kind of color with a purple metallic. So sorry for the odd framing on that. I actually got a camera arm so I don't have to balance my camera on a T-tin in order to film. I'm going to be adjusting and figuring that out soon. It's gonna make my videos a lot easier to watch, a lot less shaky. So here's the final product. I'm actually super happy with how this one came out. I think he looks really good. I got all of the colors from the color scheme translated pretty well, and I had a ton of fun doing it. So if anyone is asking, like, or wanting to make candy color schemes, this is what I would recommend. A couple other tips is just to keep it universal. You don't necessarily want to make a really obscure dish into a candy color scheme because it might not translate well. Lots of people have told me to paint a model like spaghetti, which I would love to do, but it's going to be really hard to paint a bunch of noodles to look like they're supposed to. Stuff that's more easy to break up, more recognizable, like a burger or a cupcake or mint chocolate chip ice cream, is going to be your best bet. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you'll stick around for the next one, and that you'll do the YouTube thing, like, comment, and subscribe. I have another video coming out soon, so see you then.